All right, what's happening, everybody? This is your girl, Tezlyn Figaro. I am multitasking here as usual, going straight shot, no chaser live. From time to time, I just check in with you and chop it up. But I also have started recording my show directly from IG Live and uploading it to the podcast. So you are listening to Straight Shot No Chaser Live. Make sure that you do subscribe to the YouTube channel so we don't have problems like we did before. You know, I've been in Instagram jail a couple of times in the last month or so. So I want to make sure that you and I have an opportunity to stay connected. So please make sure in the bio for those who are on Instagram, make sure you tap in with your girl and subscribe to the new YouTube channel so that you can stay on top of the commentary and when I go live. So I am doing both as we get into this week's commentary. Thank you for rocking with me. Last week, I said it was a really rough week just because we had so much going on in politics and death and personal friends of mine who were affected. And so last week I was kind of, all over the place. And I asked for your patience on last week. So I want to thank you for rocking with me. I see folks coming in, and you are always welcome to put your comments in Instagram Live. Follow me at Tezlyn Figaro on Twitter and Instagram. Folks have been asking me, where's my Facebook page? And so I have took that Facebook page down because I am trying to, still available. I'll put it back up at sometime, but there's been confusion on like where to find me and where do I go, and I just can't upload everything the way that I want it to be and stay on top and stay as current as I would like to. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I need y'all to go ahead and get on Twitter. Now, y'all don't have no problem getting on Twitter when they leak those photos. Can I say it one more time? Y'all don't have no problem, ladies, getting on Twitter when they leak those photos. The most recent leak was Jesse. Shout out to Jesse. Well, really no shout out to him because he wasn't even expecting it to be leaked. But I guess shout out to him for having the courage to even go on stage butt naked. But y'all released Jesse's photos, and be honest with you, I'm not that impressed. But hey, if you've never seen anything in life, I guess it's impressive to you. But we're not going to go there tonight. I'm going to stay on focus. You do know that I weave everything in. We talk about it all here on Straight Shot No Chaser. But we are going to kind of stay on the shout out to Grace. Thank you so much, Grace, for just subscribing. I see you. I'm assuming you just came from Instagram. I am going to stay on topic, though, and talk about, as you know, if you follow me, I talk a lot about relationships and how if you look at the relationship in your life, your personal relationship, platonic relationships, professional relationships, it is very similar to the relationships that you have in politics. And so with that said, I won't hold you long. It will be a quick podcast. But let's talk a minute about it. And as you know, I love weaving in your comments, weaving in all of the things that are happening. And yes, I saw the comment about Joe Manchin voting with Republicans, but where should the surprise be? He's already told you who he was. With that said, it's a perfect comment that goes into tonight's commentary, which is you should be treating your politics like your dating app. Turn to your neighbor in the comments and say, I should be treating my politician like I was on a dating app. Well, what do you mean by that, Tezlyn? Well, first of all, I know it's going to be a few of you that say, well, I don't get on no dating app and I don't need no dating app and I don't. So let's first just deal with that lie right quick. There's nothing wrong with getting on a dating app, because if you are somebody that is busy and working and you don't have a lot of time to go out and meet folks, and you're not just interested in running around, just meeting random people without having a couple of pre-interview questions. Have you ever applied for a job and they have pre-interview questions before you have the interview? That means like a couple of things that I want to know before we even go further. Like, are you a smoker? Do you want kids? Do you want more? Are you single? Let's first start with that. Can we just start with that? Because we know some folks are on dating apps that they ain't even single. You married men be tripping when somebody asks you about it. If you got married women too. But again, I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. So this is not the gender war that y'all say. I'm just simply speaking from a woman's perspective. When something about you married men, boy, y'all get real big upset when somebody asks you if you're married. So One of the first things on a dating app is, are you married, separated, single? Somebody say, well, why would that be on a dating app? Well, because it's folks on dating apps who are married. There are also some folks who are married, and them and their wives and our husbands are on dating apps looking for other partners. I know y'all are Christian folks, so y'all don't be looking, but for the sinners of the world, we're aware that it's a bunch of, it's some freaky shit going on. I know y'all don't believe in that. I know y'all was so shocked and clutching your pearls about Will and Jada, but for us grown folks, we understand that all couples ain't into the same thing. And so with that said, that there is even an option on the dating app if you're married. And so those are the pre-interview questions that you have on the dating app that says, before I even go further with wanting even to get to know you, I just kind of want to know these things right out the gate. And I'll just use my example. I'll just pretend that I'm on a dating app. Right out the gate, I want to know how tall you are. Like right out the gate. And men can be upset. Well, what you mean? You short? Why do it matter? I want to know how tall you are. Right out the gate. That's important. Why you need to know somebody's height? Well, I just do, brother. How tall are you? So there's a couple of questions that people, ask in the pre-interview questions before you get to the real interview. And then after the interview, and I'm saying this from just give you a little bit of background, a little context behind what I'm saying. For those of you who don't follow me, you may not have known, but I was a branch manager at Adecco and Robert Half, the first and third largest staffing firm in the world. And I also own my own staffing firm. I had 300 employees. So I know a little bit about staffing. There's a difference between staffing and HR. I tell people this all the time. I have my certification through SHRM as a professional human resources manager. But there's a difference between staffing and HR. What's the difference, Tezlyn? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The difference is that staffing is usually a temporary job because you can't find nothing else, or maybe it's easier to come into a temporary agency, but it's a quick turnaround. You can come into a temporary agency today, work that afternoon, work that next day. So a lot of folks get a chance to kind of run game because it's not that long of a hiring process as if you were going through the human resources process where, we come in, we look at the interview, we interview you once, we interview you twice, we run your references, run your background, blah, blah, blah. Even though a lot of those things are still done at the staffing firm level, it's done faster. I tend to let things slide. It's also actually how, for somebody like me that sees through game, you try to come in with that game, I can see straight through it. But for most folks, you get a chance to kind of lie and present your best representative. So there's a big difference between staffing, temporary staffing, because we look at it like, hey, if you can just get through this 8 hours of answering the phone or this 8 hours on this temporary job, I don't mind taking a risk, even though I know you're full of shit. I don't mind taking a risk and having you sit down and, take that risk and get through the 8 hours and move on. But if I wanted to consider you as a real employee, that's usually why, in case you guys don't know, if you've ever worked at a staffing firm, you know how they tell you have 90 days before you go permanent. That's because we know that in 90 days, your real representative shows up. Can somebody put that in the chat? In 90 days, your real representative shows up. That's around the time where, I kind of get to see who you are. And notice that that's also very similar to when you start dating somebody and it's all good in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 30 days, then month 2 kind of show up a little bit different. Then month 3, it's a totally different person. And by the 6th month, you don't even recognize who this person is. You know the saying where they say time tells all? Time tells all. So in that, and the reason, and for those of you who are new to my page, I do metaphors, I do analogies. I like to make things real, plain, and clear when it comes to politics because it truly is a relationship. And if you can show the connection to how you live your daily life to politics, which is what I pride myself on doing, then a lot of the things will start to make sense. So after the 90 days, you get a chance to see who the real Tezlyn is, who the real employee is. And that's why we make you an offer at the end of the 90 days in the temporary world. Opposed to the HR side, they might hire you in the beginning, but you're still on a 90-day probation. Let me say it one more time. You're still on a 90-day probation. That means that I'm still, and in the staffing, we tell people, you continue to keep filling that job. I would have employees, because I was a branch manager, they would say, oh, well, we already got the job filled. It doesn't matter. Until we hit that 90-day mark, I'm going to assume you're going to fail. Let me say it one more time. until we hit the 90-day mark, I'm just going to go ahead and assume you're a failure. I know y'all don't want to hear that because the liberals teach y'all, oh, everybody ain't a failure. Everybody the same. We all the same. Believe in people. Hope. No, it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and assume the worst. I assume the worst until you show me something better. Kind of like how they do black people in the criminal justice, guilty until proven innocent. That's how I deal with folks in the staffing world. And I need you to deal with people just like that in politics. Y'all get y'all little feelings hurt so easily. Oh, I didn't think they was like that. I can't believe this. Why would y'all not believe it? You've never met the person. You never met them in their life. You don't know who they are. Thank you. I think it's say Tamia. She just listened to the Van Jones episode. Love you because you stayed down. Always. I'm the same on every platform. You never met this politician in your life. You don't know who the hell they are. You listen to their speech, which may be 10 minutes at best. And you have taken that in your mind and created an ideology, a vision, a hope of somebody that you've never met. Now, let's get to the topic of tonight about, imagine if you treated your relationship with politicians like you treat a dating app. Do you think anybody, well, some of y'all, because some of y'all just desperate with the handheld, but let's just pretend, for those of us that got some sense. If you just presented one picture to me and just one little summary, and some of them, they've even shortened up the summary. Some summaries are shorter and longer than others. Would you take that at face value and just say, well, this is what he said? Because they all say it, sis. Now, I don't know. I don't know what the women be saying, but I can only go by what the men be saying. I don't play no games. I ain't one to play. I'm about that life. I got a job. I pay all my bills. They say all that on the dating app, don't they? You wonder why. If you scroll through, you wonder why. Wow, where have all these thousands and thousands of men be? Why are they even on a dating app? If they say they everything that they are, which could be true, you really could be all that and on a dating app. But don't you think it's interesting how everybody say they all that? Can we just allow the math to just math and say that if I scroll through 500 pictures, that surely all of y'all can't be on point. Somebody got to be lying about something. Somebody got to be lying about something. So I want you to think about that in the politicians. And again, go back and listen to pimps, politicians, and pastors so you can start really understanding that when it comes to politicians, a lot of times why y'all feelings be hurt is because you don't even recognize that you're dealing with a gangster. You don't even recognize that you're dealing with a criminal enterprise. So it's very hard for you cornballs in particularly to understand when game is getting ran on you because you don't even understand that you are in an environment that is all based on game. So you wouldn't allow somebody to tell you something just based on one summary. Why is it y'all allow folks to tell you something based on one speech? Let me take a sip. Those on YouTube, I just took a sip because I was waiting on somebody to answer the question. If you don't allow somebody on a dating app to sell you a dream based on 4 or 5 paragraphs, why is it that y'all allow these politicians to sell you something based on a speech? One speech, 2 speeches, instead of actually going into their record and seeing what they've actually done. I get it. A lot of it triggers pain and triggers, oh, wow, I'm being saved. But doesn't a dating app do the same thing? Doesn't a dating app tell a vulnerable person that, hey, I'm what you're looking for and I need somebody in my life and I'm this and I'm that? And most of you don't allow that shit to trick you. So why do you allow it to trick you in politics? Do you not understand that it's the same thing? Dating, engagement, marriage, all of that. That's what I talked about. If you listen to me on the Van Jones podcast on how they did not keep the voters engaged. Kind of like when you date somebody and you get engaged, I'm engaged, and then we get married. Y'all just allow them to go straight from, hey, my name is politician so-and-so, to straight to your drawers. You don't allow nothing in between to figure nothing out. You ain't checking nothing. You just going by, well, surely if he's doing this, must be a good guy. I mean, if that's what y'all doing in y'all dating life, then tell me something. But I would think that you have a little bit more discernment when it comes to your dating life. For example, the brothers be saying, because they said they getting tired of catfishing, and I'm talking about how y'all brothers be catfishing in a moment, so don't worry, I'm going to get around to you. But your brothers be talking about how women catfish and how I haven't seen it where they say, if you just have one headshot only, I'm not responding. Make sure you get a full body shot. Make sure you don't have no filter. I don't like long lashes. I like them natural. Some of these brothers even put in here, I'm a high value man. Real talk. They really do put that on the day now. I need a submissive female. I need this and I need that. And if that ain't that, then this is that. Oh man, y'all zoom in. Y'all want to see who got a filter, who ain't got a filter, which means you don't want to be deceived. Why is it that y'all can't do that with y'all politicians? Why is it? And I asked this question when somebody asked me earlier, well, I hope you coming up with some solutions. Well, I hope you asking your representative who you're actually paying to come up with some solutions, because the nerve of you to ask me to come up with solutions. Everything I do for you is a favor. Can I say it one more time? Everything I do for you, homie, is a favor, because I don't know your shit. Oh, I know that hurt. But you got to be told the truth, because they've been lying to you your whole life. Everything I do for you is a favor. I don't owe you shit. I don't have a nonprofit. I ain't asking for your taxes. I don't ask for your votes. You ain't voting me in nowhere. You ain't even my bestie. I don't owe you a damn thing. So explain to me how you got so much energy to come to my wall with your typing ass. You got all the energy to come to my wall with your typing ass and ask me what solutions I'm going to come up with. But you ain't asked your city elected official, your county elected official, your governor, damn sure not your president, your Congress. You ain't asked nobody what solutions they got, but you got all the questions for me and what solutions I should come up with when I am not even trying to date you. Can I say it one more time? I'm not even trying to date you, but you got all the questions for me, but you don't have no questions for your man. That's all I'm saying. When you gonna ask some questions for your own man? When are you gonna ask? And I'm paying for dinner, and you got the nerve to be questioning me. When are you going to ask your own elected officials what kind of filter they got on when they see you, when they talk? When you gonna demand that they take off the Snapchat? When are you going to demand that they show you the full body pic? When are you going to demand that they ask more questions besides the pre-interview question, which is just the speech? Because you know you got every Tuesday. Every Tuesday you can go into your local elected official county meeting, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day that it is. You do know you got 2 minutes, at least, at best, 2 minutes to have a conversation with your elected official on a weekly basis. Y'all do realize that, don't you? So when are you going to go in there and ask them face to face, what's happening with these potholes? What's happening with our schools? What's going down with this? When are you going to do something besides asking me, I ain't even click like at all on the date, because we're talking about dating. That for those who just joined us, the topic of tonight is, when are you going to manage politics like you do your dating apps? When are you going to demand that they list everything that they are, everything that they're looking for? And then as you get into that relationship, are you ever going to call them out on it? Because your damn show called the men out on it. You said you was going to do this. You said you was going to do that. I know I call them out. Hey, you said you was working with something. It don't look like you're working with nothing. Y'all know I got to go there. You know it wouldn't be straight shot no chase if we didn't go there. You said you was working with something. What's happening? Sometimes you ain't even got to say that. You just do that look. Y'all know how I do. Just that look. We're just looking in disappointment and disgust. So y'all don't even do that. When are you going to go to the meeting on Tuesday and if nothing else, have a look of disgust and disappointment? But you got all the smoke for me. And then when I answer the question and say what I'm actually doing, like training hundreds and hundreds of candidates and operatives and organizers on a weekly basis. And this is what I've been doing for the last decade plus. And feel free to go to TezlynFigaro.com and run down all the receipts. And I can certainly give you more. I love running down my receipts. Oh, queen, you ain't got to prove nothing. Oh, king, I like doing it. The only people who can't do it is people who can't do it. So I like doing it. It ain't me not talking about myself. Somebody said you need to get humble. No, baby, you need to get some receipts. That's what you need to do. It's a difference between humility and receipts. It's terms and conditions to this. It's terms and conditions. It's not just understood. Like somebody said yesterday, well, I thought friends with benefits just mean friends. No, because your definition of friend could mean, oh, hey, girl, when I see you out, I'm going to holler at you. And somebody else's definition of friends with benefit means, when I see you out Just walk past me, period. Don't even acknowledge that you know me. Everybody has a different understanding of friends and benefits. Friends with benefits. You don't go into when you go purchase a car and they give you a loan for that car, do you just walk out and they say, well, it's understood that you got a car, you got to pay for it? Or do they make you sign terms and conditions? And then your dumb ass get home and say, oh man, I can't believe the car is broke. Well, ma'am, you signed it as is. You didn't know you signed it as is? Well, I wouldn't think about all that. Well, you should have been thinking about all that before you signed it as is. So it ain't my fault that you did refuse to read the terms and conditions. So let me give you some terms and conditions about these politicians before we get out of here. The terms and conditions is they all liars until they prove otherwise. So like I told, and this ain't nothing personal, because I got plenty of friends who are politicians. I don't want to use the word friends, acquaintances. People that I respect, people that I know have put in work by default. But like, if you watch my commentary, I told you before, I'm not in this to celebrate. I'm not in this to make no friends. I got best friends. I got real friends. Y'all need to phone a friend. I got real friends that I've had my whole life, and I don't talk to them about politics at all. It's completely, we don't talk about that at all. We talk about things going on in our life, not about politics. So I'm not on here looking for no friends, and I'm not in politics looking for no friends. You got industry colleagues, people that you rock with, that you're closer to than others. But ultimately, what's that saying? It's no permanent friends or enemies. It's only permanent interests. And my interests will remain focused on Black people. And guess what else? Can I give y'all some breaking news? Can I whisper like Joe Biden? Not all Black people. What you mean, Tezlyn, not all Black people? I mean that I ain't talking about all of y'all. Tezlyn ain't for everybody. I'm not running for office. I'm for some of y'all. That means some of y'all gonna like me and some of you don't. That means you can either use it, choose it, but I can't make you lose it. That means instead of chasing you, I think I'm just gonna replace you. That means that I might block you and I might not. When somebody said, I know she gonna block me next. Maybe, maybe not. I may call you a clown. I may invite you live. I may block you. I may just let you sit there. Whatever it is, I get to decide because I'm in charge of this page. I get to make it up as I go. But you know who else be making it up as they go? The elected officials that y'all voted in. They be making it up as you go too, but I don't see you holding in all that accountability that y'all like holding me to. It's just the nerve of you for me. You got so much accountability when it comes to me, but you don't hold nobody in your life accountable. But you know what that tells me? It tells me that you ain't holding nobody accountable at home. You ain't holding nobody accountable at the job. You ain't holding nobody accountable in government. So you like to feel like you can come tell me what I should be saying and what I should not be saying and all of that. No, let's focus on what you should be saying. What are you doing? Let's focus on that. Because when you ask me, it's damn sure I'm going to ask it back. Never ask me a question that you don't want me to ask back, because you best believe I'm going to answer it and then I'm going to ask you. I'm definitely going to ask you. Oh, you be attacking your followers. First of all, I don't have no followers. I'm not Jesus. You guys just are on this page. So that's number one. I don't have no followers. Number two, I don't attack nobody. I respond. Now, just because I respond maybe more aggressive than you, that's what it is. I just respond. I don't go out my way to say, hey, like Queen B629, you don't see me just come, hey, Queen B629, why you da-da-da-da? No, usually it's one of y'all saying something to me and I just respond. The only difference is I shut your ass down. That's the only difference. I'm just better at responding. That's all. It's not my fault. I'm just better at responding. Oh, what you mean you better? I mean I'm better. That's what I mean. I'm better. I'm kind of good at this shit. So that's how that go. If you the one that want to decide to taunt Mike Tyson on JetBlue and get your ass knocked out, it ain't on me. Like my girlfriend said, she made a great point. She said he should have went to jail. The guy who taunted Mike Tyson should have went to jail for endangering himself and others, because who is dumb enough to taunt Mike Tyson? So you want to come on here with me and play a word game with me, and if I decide to go back and forth, cool. If I do, I do. I don't, I don't. But let's always make sure it's understood. I don't owe you nothing. And see, that's why Bam was so shocked. For those of you that listen to the commentary, he said, I don't think 2% of people that listen have ever heard this that way. Right? Because I don't tell you what you want to hear. I'm trying to move you out the way. Like, don't follow me. I did a training the other day, and they said, "Where can people find you?" I said, "Nowhere. I'm here to do this. I'm here to do this training because I know once they follow me and they come to my page and they hear what I say, they're not gonna hear none of this good training I just gave them because they're gonna be so caught up in what I said and she don't be this and that and their emotions and trigger. They're gonna forget the game I did a media training. They're gonna forget the game that I gave them about how to have good interviews because they're gonna be so caught up in me as an individual that they're not gonna hear. Shout out to y'all. I tell you all the time, I don't even like doing these lives, these videos. I like audio learners. That's why I like podcasts. I did talk radio for 3 years. I can't stand this video shit because y'all be so focused in on what your glasses got on and what you got on and what the titties looking like and what the cleavage. Now y'all know I believe in showing my cleavage. I'm just saying y'all be so focused on everything else other than what I'm talking about, and I see this as a distraction. And guess who else see it as a distraction? The enemy see it as a distraction. That's why podcasts is 70% white folks. They're audio learners. It don't take a whole bunch of them. Just know that everything that's getting said is sinking in their brain and they're implementing that. So whether it's good or bad, I'm not even talking about the content. I'm saying the simple fact that they're not always needing to see something all the time. You always want to see something, listen to something sometimes. You know, sometimes I'll do my live and I'll turn my phone over and y'all be typing, "I can't see you. I can't see you. Where you at? I can't see you." Don't worry about seeing me. Close your eyes and just let me ride this beat. Just close your eyes. Imagine what I look like. Just listen to the voice. Let me get in the head where you actually have a connection between the brain and the words that are coming out of my mouth. Why do you think Rush Limbaugh and all of those, obviously he's no longer living, but why do you think turn on the AM station? It's all conservative talk. That's it. They know how to take, because they know that person driving home, that quote unquote working man, that blue collar man that's driving home for 2 hours in a 2-hour commute. My ex-husband, he's a blue collar guy, hardworking guy. He listens to talk radio every day. He's not a conservative, but he listens to talk radio every day and it gets in his head. So when you're driving home and you're hearing, "Oh man, I'm tired of working and I'm tired of this and I'm tired of that and I'm this and that," and it's penetrating in their heads. And they're thinking, "Damn, I didn't get that raise. Damn, these immigrants are doing this. Damn, these black people are doing this. Damn, they sure are." Da, 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 da. They are genius, not in a good way, with how to get into the mind. That's why they're the minority, but still running shit. Can I say it one more time? The minority and still running shit. That's why y'all say stuff to me like, "Tezlyn, I would love for you to get a show." This is a show, homie. You don't think it's a show? It's not a show because it's not on TV. It's not a show because it's not on MSNBC. iHeart is the largest audio platform in America. I would think this is a show. But you know what's so interesting? Yeah, nobody says that to Joe Rogan. Y'all do realize that's a podcast show, don't you? Oh, but he has a video up, so that means it's not a show. It's a podcast, just like this is a podcast. It's still the same. It's a show. The difference is I don't have millions and millions of followers, and I didn't get a $100 million contract. Well, you know why? Because black people, we don't dominate the podcast space. Do y'all realize that the Breakfast Club is actually a radio show? I hope y'all know that, because the other day somebody told me they didn't even know that. I said, yeah. I guess they don't have it in their city. Yeah, it's actually a radio show. They just happen to have cameras in and they put it up on YouTube. But it's a radio show. It's an audio show. And it's on the podcast. It's on iHeart Podcast, in case you didn't know that. It's a show. A show is content produced and putting it out. It's a show. This is the Straight Shot No Chaser show. And I'm not saying that because I take like, "Ooh, you need to say I got a show." I'm saying that because I need you to know the difference between like audio learning and visual learning, because we're here to learn. This ain't about numbers. If I want to talk about numbers, I would talk about big sticks all day and who is average at best and who look good and who. I know how to get these comments popping. The moment I say something about black women dating white men, boy, y'all go crazy. The MIT mathematicians come out, "Oh yeah, really 3% of this and 2% of that, and divide this into that and take away this and subtract." I'm saying take away like a 5th grader. "Subtract this and multiply by that and see what really the problem is black women da 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 da." Oh yeah, that's why Kevin Samuels was trending all week long, because he was a relationship guru. When are y'all gonna trend? Not y'all in general, but when are black people gonna trend about demanding the shit that we asked for? Can I say it one more time? Shout out to you, my son in the building. Can anybody tell me when we gonna trend about the shit that we're demanding from this administration, or we ain't gonna trend on that? I ain't seen the trend yet. I ain't seen the trend yet. Oh well, it don't trend because y'all follow the trends. What's the trends this week? What's been trending? Well, right now I know Ray J's trending, and I know Kim Kardashian's trending. I know y'all keep that on the top trend list. Nothing wrong with it. I follow it too. But I just want to know, is it ever going to trend when we asking for our rightful shit, our rightful place in America? Is it ever? Probably not. That's why I don't do this for the likes. When somebody tells me, you doing it for likes, I laugh with my head all the way back, because empowering and educating people are the lowest likes of all. It's at the very, very bottom. It's at the very bottom. Even if you look at the Black Effect Podcast Network, the majority of those shows are based on entertainment. It's only 3 or 4 of us that stay consistently on politics or social justice or information. We got a nice group of folks, but the majority is entertainment. Go to Apple Music and click on podcasts and look at the top podcasts right now in the country. Right now, it's on education. We be on entertainment, and ain't nothing wrong with entertainment. That's why y'all like IG. That's why I shut my Facebook down so I can get everybody on IG. That's why y'all not on Twitter. Every time I say, hey, this is trending on Twitter, watch the comments where people say, I ain't on Twitter. You know why y'all not on Twitter? Because it's not about videos and pictures. They show them, but that's not the main thing. Y'all like IG, so y'all can mindlessly scroll all day. Nothing wrong with it. But you want the videos, the laughs, the jokes, oh man, this is the TikToking all day long. Do you realize that in China, they won't even allow the TikTok version unless it's educational? Can I say it one more time? They don't even allow their children to have access to it unless it's education. But we be TikToking all day long. We TikTok our ass off. We like videos. We like anything that's about entertainment. And Twitter is about 124 characters and dropping a link for you to click it and read it. Did you notice that on IG, you can't even put a link in the comments where you click it, hyperlink it? You have to, I guess, go to your laptop and copy and paste it, but it makes it so hard. It's anti-information. That's why you always got to say link in the bio, link in the bio. Y'all didn't notice that? And still, a lot of y'all still don't know how to find the link in the bio. Where's the link? Where can I find it? Everything is in the bio. When people hit me up in the DM for business, when you do that, it tells me right after gate, you don't know how to find the link in the bio because I don't do business in the DM. I do business on TezlynFigaro.com. So it tells me a lot about your business mind that you think hitting me up in the DM is a way to do business with me. No, baby, that ain't a way to do business with me. Now, if you're trying to do personal business with me, then hit me up in the DM. But if you're trying to get the bag and you want to talk about a partnership, you need to contact me like y'all contact them white folks and go to their website and fill out the contact us page. That's what you do. But IG has you so casual and anti-information that it's all about looking. I didn't even open up my IG page until I went on the Breakfast Club because Angelique said, what's your IG? And I was like, Tezlyn Figaro. I had some posts on there, but it wasn't what I was using primarily. Twitter's where it's at. You know, another reason why? Because the media follows Twitter. Look at any article. Do you ever... Now, entertainment, they'll say, oh, such and such clap back on IG. But politics, they follow Twitter because it's easier to follow the conversation. It's easier to follow the hashtag. No politician is coming to your Instagram page and saying, man, I wonder what I Am Justice Joseph is thinking about. But if I Am Justice Joseph goes to Twitter and says, hey, defund the police or refund the police or whatever it is you believe, that actually populates because of the way that the algorithms are set up. And that's how movements get pushed. Now, sometimes you believe Twitter hype and you think you're more than what you are. I'll deal with that in my training. Don't believe the hype. But overall, politicians ain't looking at your, they're not looking at your IG page. That's why I keep saying go to Twitter. Now, y'all go to Twitter when y'all go look for them leak pics. All I'm saying is, sis, do both. Go there for the politics and go there for the leaks. I'm over there for both. Penis and politics. It's cool. Both of them matter. Both of them matter. Somebody said you don't be answering the DM for personal either. Well, it depends. Let's deal with that, and then I'm going to get on out of here. It depends. Number one, if something has an interest, I don't see all my DMs, number one, because you get a lot. Just so y'all know, it's 3 boxes on the DM. I don't know if your DM set up that way, but you have primary with people that you have had conversations with. Then you have general. That's kind of like the side piece, and then you have I forgot what's the other one. Wherever it is, the message is not even accepted. And that's like worse than the side piece. That's like in holding, like seeing, I'm using a great relationship analogies. So a lot of time I may not even see your DM. And then if I do take the time to scroll through, because realize there's people send me things all the time, information, reels, comedy. Hey, did you know this was happening? Whatever. So I don't mind seeing everything you want to. But if you're talking about on a personal level, I just might not have been interested. I don't know if anybody considered that. If you send a woman a DM and she don't respond, she's probably not interested on me. That's all. There's no disrespect. She just may not be interested. Or you don't have your page public. And that little bitty picture that you got, I can't tell what you're looking like. Remember, this whole podcast is about treating politics like a dating app. So if the IG was a dating app, am I supposed to just look at that one little picture of you? That ain't gonna work. I need to see it all. I got all my shit out there. I want to see you. Why would I just believe, oh, you think I'm just, maybe because you're a nice guy? No, I'm sorry. The woman need to be able to see your page. So open up your page or send some pictures in there too. And the whole thing, all the pictures, if you know what I mean, if you want a quicker response. So that's how they go. But if you just send in a DM, hey queen, I just want to know, hey queen, and you queen, and I'm king, and all that, then probably won't get a response. At least not from me. Because everybody ain't no queen. I done told y'all that before. Just go ahead and call me Tezlyn. I'm okay with being called Tezlyn because y'all get that name out to everybody. And I'm sorry, being black don't make you no queen to me. Some of y'all is peasants and concubines at best. So everybody and some of y'all are jokesters, court gestures, nothing but clowns. So we can't all be queens. Somebody lying somewhere. Just like everybody can't go to heaven. Let's go ahead and tell the truth. Everybody ain't no king. Everybody ain't no damn queen. So just go ahead and call me Tezlyn Figaro. And I'm all right with standing on my name and my name alone because I worked hard for it. Anyway, you've been listening to Straight Shot No Chaser, this week's podcast. If you missed it tonight, you can definitely listen to it tomorrow. It'll be uploaded because contrary to popular belief, I have a show that downloads every week on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast. Just Google or just put in Straight Shot No Chaser. And please subscribe. It's free to subscribe. That's probably the only thing I'll ask you for is subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast. Doesn't take up any space on your phone. It's just, add the numbers to show the people that, hey, yeah, black people kind of want some information too. And don't worry, I'll always still talk about Jesse's photos. We cover it all. Don't worry. I'm going to make sure because there's plenty of y'all conscious freaks out there. We make sure we cover that too. But 80, 90, 95% of what I talk about is politics. And even when I am talking about personal, I'm still weaving in politics because it's all the same. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Can you subscribe to my YouTube? Can you do that too? That's important. I'm going to say it again. That's important. I think I only have like 800 subscribers. It's a brand new page. Don't worry about trying to look for it. Go to the link in my bio. And I would like to see at least 10 people subscribe tonight because I want to make sure that when I was in jail last time, that I want to make sure that when I was in jail last time that I still have a way of accessing you guys. So subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we got some big things coming up too. Some announcements that I've talked to you about before, but we're going to start rolling out the collateral. So subscribe to the YouTube page. Subscribe to the podcast, Straight Shot No Chaser with Tezlyn Figaro. Use it, lose it. Can't make you choose it. Until next time. Peace.